In this episode of Fictional Hangover, we talk about sensible ghost hunting shoe choices, having just enough ooze, smuggling weapons in your hairdo, and being stronger together in our discussion of Cursed Cruise by Faith McClaren and Victoria Fulton. Hey everybody, welcome to Fictional Hangover, a podcast about young adult and new adult, and sometimes other books, series, authors, voice actors, and illustrators that is full of spoilers. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Claire. And today we're going to discuss Cursed Cruise by Faith McClaren and Victoria Fulton. Yeep.
Standard disclaimer. If you haven't read this book, please remember that Fictional Hangover is all about spoilers. If you haven't read or listened and don't want to be spoiled, stop listening to us and go read or listen to the book. Then come back. If you haven't done this but want to pretend that you have, or if you don't care about spoilers, or if you just love us so much that you don't care about any of that, then listen up.
Oh, thanks everyone. You love us that much. Seriously, go and read the book.
Yeah, go and read the book and then join our Patreon.
Do it. Then you can watch us.
Yes.
All that with tomfoolery.
Yes. All of it, too. All of it.
They have no idea what I'm doing right now unless you're on Patreon.
I know. What are
Visually
they missing? It's so entertaining.
Exactly. It's gold. And that's my special skill for this evening. Okay, let's go to background information. Stop this weirdness.
Yes. I read on thekitchen.com, and that's kitchen with 2 T's. There was an interview with Victoria Fulton and Faith McClaren, and they said, "We have been to the Queen Mary in Long Beach several times, which has been named the most haunted hotel in America. We've had a few weird encounters on this ocean liner turned historic hotel. Odd ringing in ears, unexplainable moving shadows, motion lights coming on outside of rooms when no one is in the hallway, that kind of thing." The Faith side of this author duo possesses psychic abilities of her own and has had numerous encounters with the dead, and has even predicted a few high-profile celebrity deaths in vivid and deeply sad dreams. And we visit this a little bit, a lot, in our bonus episode with Faith McClaren, also known as Rebekah Faubion. So, it's so good. Everyone go and listen to that episode.
It's
brilliant. So good.
It was brilliant.
So good. Oh my God. But anyway, that's not where we are yet, Claire. We have other things to do. Initial thoughts.
Go.
Yay, Ghost Gang!
Same. I'm so excited after Horror Hotel. I'm just so looking forward to Cursed Cruise.
Right. We loved Horror Hotel so much. It was like our favorite, one of our favorites from last year, right? So it was really fun to revisit them and get more of their story, and it was really great.
Yes, I can't agree more. I just want to dive into it.
Right. You just like, I don't want to say we need to just get through this episode so everyone can go and listen to the bonus episode. But
let's set sail.
Let us set sail indeed.
Full steam ahead.
Oh my gosh.
Let us embark on the summary. I'm not going to give you very many because I'm using all this up.
Okay. So get all your boat puns out now. Do you have any more?
I think I'm done.
Okay.
I think my sails are full.
Nope.
Horizon is in sight.
The Ghost Gang. Nope. The Ghost Gang, Chrissy, Chase, Emma, and Kiki, have just been to Salem, Massachusetts, on the hunt for the ghosts of witches. Chrissy, the resident psychic medium, came face to face with the ghost of which Sarah good, and it wasn't comfortable. Only Kiki, the host, grabbing her hand, broke whatever hold Sarah had on Chrissy as she passed through her body and seemed to displace Chrissy's soul. Chase and Emma caught it all on camera, and it will make fantastic viewing on their YouTube channel. But it's left Chrissy worrying she'll one day drift too close to the void between realms.
Ooh, spooky. Chase is worried because he loves Chrissy. They've been together since they went to the Hearst Hotel last year, the same as Emma and Kiki, though they keep their relationships purely speculation on Reddit. Once the sailing video was finished being edited and rendered, it started uploading to YouTube, and now they need to rest. They have a big investigation coming up. They've been invited to investigate a ship, the HMS Queen Anne, and her reported resident ghost, the Lady in White. Unlike their investigation at Hearst Hotel, which put the ghost gang on paranormal map, Kiki's mom Billy will be their chaperone.
Oh my gosh, a reasonable and responsible adult is involved. Oh my god,
Can you believe we're actually taking an adult? I mean,
I'm so happy.
That's maturity right there. That's growth.
It really
I
is.
know it was a requirement for the journey, but it's growth and development, which I appreciate.
Right. And I'm sure they could have figured out a way around it. They could have tricked someone or done something. I don't care. There's a responsible grown-up involved. It's Chase's dream to get the Ghost Gang a network deal. However, their manager, Jerry, is a prick who never calls. Well, he's on the phone now, and he's not happy with the latest reel for Creep TV because it needs more sex. Chase tells Jerry to fuck off because they're all just barely 18. They're not going to give some perverted middle-aged Hollywood execs their jollies. That's fucking gross. Chase has integrity, and it's the safety of his team. It's above everything else. It's the Ghost Gang, or it's nothing.
Even though they seem to have lost their TV deal, Kiki isn't worried. She'll work her magic again like she's done in the past. What does concern Kiki is a DM from a lifelong time fan with a link to a TikTok. Another paranormal group, Paranormal Patrol, a group of hot 20-somethings who were affiliated with the Paranormal Institute of North Texas, PINT, are also going on the Queen's Anne inaugural voyage. Well, shit.
The Ghost Gang, plus Kiki's mom Billy, reach the HMS Queen Anne. Chase tries to get a few boarding shots, but it's not exciting, and Billy is live streaming it all to their Facebook anyway. Their VIP concierge, Gerald, helps them aboard, but refuses to talk about or acknowledge any hauntings, especially with the cameras on. Chrissy is most excited to find out about the Lady in White, supposedly a bride who went overboard in the 1980s with a suicide note later found in her diary. Her ghost has been reported many, many times and caused a few voyages to turn around looking for someone gone overboard. But just like her body, nothing is found.
Paranormal Patrol enters the embarkment area, and it's a face-off which, in my opinion, seemed very Anchorman style. It's quite passive-aggressive before it gets stupid.
Yeah.
So it's between the teens with genuine psychic ability and passion and the hot Barbie rip-offs with no actual paranormal talent. Turns out they too are in the running for a Creep TV contract. Except they ooze sex appeal because of, being cheerleaders and stuff. And they also completely lack integrity. As Paranormal Patrol push past, Chrissy seems to get lost in the aura of the Queen Anne. As she steps onto the boat, her friends seem so far away, and the clock above the elevator goes crazy. and a disembodied voice whispers, "You're trapped." And Chrissy feels herself torn out of reality. Ooh.
She is alive. 1924. The Queen Anne has been imbued with life with every bolt, with personality with every brushstroke, and with purpose. No longer an it, but a she. She feels the passengers inside of her, the ocean battering her sides. She feels him disturbed from sleep and wanting to return home, trapped deep, deep below. She feels herself wondering what the blood of her passengers would taste like. The ship is a character, oh my god!
And she's hungry. As Chase is getting footage, he notices Chrissy's knees buckle and hears her gasp for help. Kiki takes the camera for him to keep recording. Not that she isn't concerned, but after the Hearst Hotel and massive holes in the footage, they all agree to keep recording no matter what. Emma reaches Chrissy and she lets her friend rest against her, and Chase touches Chrissy's skin and notices how cold she is. While Gerald dithers about, Billy pulls out a herbal tincture and waves it under Chrissy's nose, which starts to help her. Emma points out this is part of the course for when a psychic medium comes aboard an old haunted ship. As Gerald escorts them to their room, Chrissy mouths to Chase, "Something is wrong."
Inside their suite, Billy and Emma hear the lure of the buffet and head out to eat, leaving Chase and Kiki to look after Chrissy. Chrissy, however, reassures Kiki, who has been feeling a strain in her relationship with Emma. She can feel her pulling away. Emma is not willing to share what is wrong with her and is sleeping less and less. Drawing attention to their immediate what the actual fuck matter, Chase asks what happened to Chrissy. Chrissy explains she didn't faint despite what they think they saw. Rather, she was pulled to a different time, one when the Queen Anne was younger and didn't have the modern overlay. She also had a glimpse of the Lady in White.
Ooh. What was a masterclass in buffet plate building with Kiki's mom turns to crap for Emma. A hallucination of oil seeping from beneath the staff door, growing tendrils grabbing at her and causing pain and blood made her drop her plate.
Ooh.
It was a thing of beauty as well. It was majestic. Back in the room later, Emma knows Kiki knows something is wrong with her, but Emma refuses to share or show Kiki she's anything other than fine. This honestly pisses Kiki off, and so she heads to the required muster drill by herself.
Despite it breaking the Ghost Gang code, I feel like we should just throw that in there. They're not supposed to go anywhere by themselves. Oh my gosh. Kiki needs a few moments alone to stew about Emma. In recompense, she pulls out her phone to get some video of the spooky long corridor she's walking down, and notices a little girl ghost with wet hair and a retro polka dot dress. Looking up from her phone, she sees nothing is there. Once inside the elevator, Kiki stops recording and pulls up the video, but the ghost girl isn't there. The faint, distinct sound of a little girl's laughter is, though. No.
Nah, dog. Nah, dog.
Nah.
Okay, this is disturbing. During a nap, Chrissy experiences extreme sleep paralysis and hears a constant tick, tick. I mean, don't mess with naps. Don't mess with naps.
No. Nah.
Oh. She also meets Elizabeth Walker, the Lady in White, but she is alive because Chrissy seems to be in Elizabeth's time. Chase wakes her from this not dream for the muster drill. On deck, the Ghost Gang plus Billy encounter the Paranormal Patrol. Tim, Tom, Toby and Tina, who are professionally coiffed and out to show the Ghost Gang they are the better choice for creep TV. Tina puts on a show which makes a small child cry, telling ghost stories of the Queen Anne to the camera, which I'm sorry, but that's hilarious. That
So
objectively is freaking hilarious.
Really very good.
She ends her dramatic dialogue by saying that all these many, many deaths are the result of a curse. An Egyptian sarcophagus was snuck aboard and hidden with the intention of taking it to a secret buyer in America, but it never made it and is still hidden deep in the depths of the ship. Dum, dum, dum. As Tina finishes the story, she is pulled back by a mysterious force and cracks her head against the wall, causing it to bleed. It's all smoke of mirrors for the camera, but it's bloody effective.
I really appreciate that she hid a blood pack in her, hair extensions.
Fake hair bit. Yeah.
So good. So
it might be fake, but she commits to the bit.
Right. Yes. Because that still probably hurt. She had to bash her head hard enough to pop the blood bag. I'm taking notes here from Tina, just so everyone is aware. Chrissy's experience, however, is not smoke and mirrors. Chrissy seems to get lost in the ship again, stepping through time. One second she's standing with her friend, the next she's at the railing, looking down at the broken body in white below, describing in gruesome detail the woman's fear of going overboard, how her bones shattered on impact and her lungs filled with water. The curse of this cruise ship is real. They shouldn't leave. Too late, though. The horn blasts, signaling their departure. The tick, tick, tick continues.
She is hungry. 1940. The Queen Anne is painted black, which suits her, and she is filled with armed men and their glorious purpose. She is forever watchful and whispers where she can. She whispers to the kitchen staff, sick of their head chef. She whispers that they can break him, burn him, bake him. And so they do, and take turns to see him cook in a large walk-in oven. The chef's spirit is forever trapped with her.
This is one of my favorite scenes. So good. Emma and Kiki are holding Chrissy while Chase turns the camera off. Paranormal Patrol sashay away. You can feel the eye rolls coming off of them. Meanwhile, the cruise director comes over, makes sure everything is okay, and reminds them that they've signed waivers. Billy sticks up for her charges and then invites them to attend the sail away party with her. Kiki and Emma agree, and surprisingly, so does Chrissy. Before Chrissy goes, Chase holds her, noting how cold she is despite the warm evening and the thick coat she's wearing. Chrissy doesn't want to worry him, but confesses about meeting Elizabeth Walker and how she couldn't break out of wherever she was. They're both worried, of course. Chrissy heads to the party, and Chase stays to look through the footage they just took. In one single frame, Chase notices a man all in white with a beard leaning against the railing. He looks like a captain, but in only one frame of footage? Yeah, that's not possible. Suitably freaked out, Chase books it.
After the sail away party, the gang gets ready for a late dinner and they're dressed all fancy. In the restaurant, they meet Ruby and Trip, their table mates, and Kiki keeps the small talk going while Billy avoids them in case she catches cranky octogenarian or something. Chrissy keeps losing focus and worrying Chase because she's not being herself, and Emma eats the left side of the menu. Ruby believes in the curse because there have been so many deaths associated with the ship, and sagely tells them that at least a curse can be broken. They just need to send the sarcophagus back to where it came from. Kiki clinks her glass with Ruby, toasting them, breaking the curse.
She is starving. Present. Being in dry dock and landlocked starved the Queen Anne. Now she is disguised and must eat. She has her sights set on the girl who hears the tick, 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 and the trapped souls. No toasts to break the curse will work. He is the Queen Anne's and fuels her rage. The brats will drop one by one.
As Kiki finishes saying the words breaking the curse, Chrissy is pulled through time. Except this time she isn't alone. Chase, Emma and Kiki have been pulled through with her. The room is filled with used-to-be people dressed in their eras, clothes, dead eyes and expressionless faces, their heads all turning to the ghost gang. That's freaky as, by the way.
Yeah.
Tears of black ooze fall from their eyes, ears, nose and mouth.
Oh, I love it.
The ghosts start shuffling for them, surrounding them. Kiki threatened to break the curse, and the Queen Anne didn't like that. Only Kiki screaming, "I take it back! I take it all back! We won't break the curse! We'll leave it alone! We'll leave you all alone!" stops the horde and they return to their time. That is one of the creepiest things. You can tell it was just going to be dead silent as well. Freaky, love it.
So good. Chrissy fakes seasickness, and she and Chase are able to leave the dining room. Billy insists Kiki and Emma stay. The experience has left Chrissy feeling like she has water in her ears, and the tick, tick, tick is still there. Meanwhile, Kiki and Emma have been dragged to the Royal Theatre. Emma couldn't care less about the great Splendini and whispers to Kiki to meet her outside. Outside the theater, and slightly hidden by prying eyes, they start having a fast and heavy makeout session. Finally! Emma has been haunted by the events of the Hearst Hotel, how the serial killer Bram tortured her and left her for dead, and seeing his shade in the shadows. Like right now. Emma can see him, just as Kiki's fingers are working on her shirt. Stopping their intimacy, Emma pulls Kiki away from their secret spot and admits Bram was just there. Kiki tells Emma she can talk to her, but something in Emma won't let her.
Kiki starts to return to the theatre and her mom, who is flirting with the cruise director. Feeling tired of her mother and Emma and needing alone time, Kiki heads to the observation deck, where she spots the creepiest ghost of them all, a little girl. Kiki might think she is the biggest chicken of the ghost gang, but she's going to investigate. Meanwhile, back in their suite, Chrissy is turning blue with being so cold. Chase sets Chrissy on the sofa and piles blankets on top of her before crawling in next to her to share his body heat. The ghost gang would be nothing without Chrissy. He would be empty without her. Kiki, meanwhile, has followed the ghost girl to a closed pool. Looking in the water, Kiki sees a teddy bear floating on the surface, and under the protective netting, the girl is at the bottom of the pool. Kiki knows it's a ghost, but instinct kicks in, and she tears at the netting and dives in to save the girl. Something in the pool starts pulling at Kiki's leg, and it won't let her go, and she can feel herself drowning. At last, her feet touch the bottom of the pool, just enough for her to kick up, and just enough for a crew member walking by to pull her out. Oh.
Kiki, seriously, the fuck?
Yeah.
Don't go in there. Don't do that. Look, she drowned for a reason. For more on this,
Be a creepy kid.
please see our bonus episode. Emma stomps inside the suite as Chase is snacking on some of her Cheez-Its and flips him off on the way to her room when he asks her what's wrong. It's only when Chase just manages to save Chrissy from climbing over the balcony and jumping overboard, she comes running down and sees how cold and not with it Chrissy is. Kiki comes into the suite then, shoeless and dripping wet. Yeah, there's something wrong with the ship. Chase barricades the balcony, taking no chances with Chrissy, while Kiki dries off and tells them what happened. No one is acting normal, and the strange occurrences have escalated since dinner. Chase mentions that Chrissy refers to the haunted locations like they're alive, and they're the Queen Anne's next targets. They also need to keep a watch on Chrissy, who keeps coming in and out of consciousness. Chase is convinced Chrissy is possessed.
There is some skepticism about Chrissy being possessed, but there definitely is something wrong. Better to be safe. Chase suggests they take turns through the night watching Chrissy, and Emma volunteers to go first. Unfortunately, Emma falls asleep, and when her nightmares of Bram wake her up, Emma notices Chrissy is gone. Straight away, Emma wakes Chase and Kiki. Chase writes a note for Chrissy in case she comes back, telling her to stay put, before directing Emma and Kiki to check different parts of the ship. He's got a terrible feeling about Deck 13, so he's going to head there.
You have a terrible feeling, and you're like, yeah, let's go. Nah. No. No. This is going to be really, really bad. Let's go there immediately. Who is he? Me?
So, you're suggesting we don't follow our terrible feelings.
I mean, you probably shouldn't, but I'm pretty sure, 100% sure actually, that you and I would do that.
Oh, God, definitely.
Yeah.
Especially in this situation.
Right, but we would go together. Don't go by yourself.
The ghost gang keeps splitting up, and we learned from the Hearst Hotel you don't do that.
Don't do that. That's like rule number 1.
Yes. It is actually.
Anyway. Chrissy wakes up in Elizabeth Walker's room. In Elizabeth Walker's body. On the night of Elizabeth Walker's death. Not having any control, really, Chrissy watches through Elizabeth's eyes. First, she reads her diary, seeing how much she hates her fiancé, who is a horrible, brutal man, but her mother insists they need the money. Leaving the suite, Chrissy, Elizabeth walk into a lounge where the bartender is clearing up. He knows Elizabeth, and clearly their relationship is more than platonic. Suddenly, a squat, ugly, drunk man stumbles into the lounge. It's Elizabeth's fiancé. He hits the bartender, who's trying to protect Elizabeth so she can escape. Chrissy and Elizabeth run back to their suite to throw her diary over the balcony, only her fiancé follows, and angrily he rips the book from Chrissy Elizabeth's hands, telling her she doesn't have to marry him before pushing her overboard. The water cracks Chrissy Elizabeth's head as she makes contact with the ocean.
Oh, it's brutal. Brutal. She is furious. 1984. The Queen Anne keeps devouring, her hunger never satisfied. If anything, she grows hungrier. She picks out one. He's ugly and angry and drunk, but the problem is he is a monster like her and has no soul. One night he unravels and is filled with rage. He sees red, but his victim sees black.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Chrissy comes to herself, standing precariously on a balcony. Chase, on the deck above and calling her name, sees her dangerous situation and parkours over the balcony and pushes her back. Chrissy tells him she was Elizabeth Walker and knows she was murdered because she saw and felt her death. They're in Elizabeth's room now, 13340, which has been locked by security and is apparently the most haunted room on the ship. The consummate paranormal filmmaker, a small part of Chase wishes he had his camera, but a greater part is worried about Chrissy. A security guard finds them in room 13340 and escorts Chase and Chrissy back to their suite, where Kiki and Emma pile Chrissy into blankets and Billy spoon feeds her hot tea to warm her up. I love Billy. She's so sweet. Billy doesn't want anything to do with the paranormal. But, she agrees to watch Chrissy while Chase, Kiki, and Emma solve a 40-year-old murder mystery which will hopefully release Chrissy from the Lady in White's hold.
Paranoid the ship can hear them, Chase, Kiki, and Emma talk via texts, though Chase wonders if the ship can read.
She probably can read. Just an alert there. She's probably smart enough to read. Yeah.
They decide that Emma will hit the internet cafe and start researching there, while Chase and Kiki will head to the deck with all the pictures of previous crew members. It's an awkward parting between Kiki and Emma because Emma can feel Bram behind her, following her as she dashes to deck 3. Ugh. Unfortunately, in her haste, Emma falls and twists her ankle. It's tender, but she can still walk. When she reaches the deck 3, she falls again and is caught by the boys from Paranormal Patrol. They don't look right. They shouldn't have black ooze leaking from their eyes. Oh no, her name is Emmeline. They grip Emma's wrist and, with a heavy Texan drawl, say they'll look after her. Won't bite. What? No.
Nah.
No.
Nah. Mm-mm. Meanwhile, Kiki and Chase have become separated. Chase, with his longer stride, soon outmarches Kiki, who is in fabulous but impractical shoes. Kiki really needs to consider her wardrobe choices in all future endeavors.
I mean, she does, but she's considered it for sitting around lounging on the deck and not, ghost hunting, which was their actual...
I know. Like,
she needs a pair of sneakers, is what I'm saying.
She does. And she can get a pair of fashionable and very expensive sneakers. I'm sure someone on Instagram would ask her to wear a pair of their shoes.
Definitely.
Anyway, they need to get to deck 6, to outside the bridge where the old photos are, except Kiki's on deck 7. She goes back to the stairwell and down one, again, reaching deck 7. Looking above and below her, Kiki sees deck 7. Out loud, Kiki tells the ship she's mostly not scared. Suddenly, the little girl, first from the corridor and then the pool, steps out of the elevator. She looks at Kiki, and Kiki, being brave and feeling like this is the right thing to do, asks the little girl if she can help her with anything. The little girl wants to play, so Kiki takes her hand. I love this scene, by the way.
The Kiki scene.
Deck 7, deck 7, deck 7. Ugh.
She is drowning. 1956. The Queen Anne is furious with her fresh paint, new linens, and the influx of poodle skirts, 3-piece suits, and champagne. She wants to create a spectacle and finds the right victim in a little girl and her teddy. She lures her to the empty pool, locking the door. The girl and her teddy twirl about the poolside until the water from a leaking janitorial faucet causes her and her teddy to slip and fall. No one hears her screams and cries for help.
No one was listening to her because they were sick of her. Again, go back and see. Go back and listen to the bonus episode. We have painted a picture for this tiny girl.
Oh, she has a full backstory by now.
The Paranormal Patrol boys are taking Emma deeper into the bowels of the ship. She fights back the only way she can think of, by being brightly compliant. If she's willing to go along with them, it's not fun anymore. Emma tells them how tired she is and to just get it over with. Just as it seems to work, 2 of them grab her ankles and start dragging her along. Nothing she does breaks their hold until a river of black ooze flows from under a door and tendrils grab the boys. Emma is able to break free and makes a run for it. She ends up in the old boiler room that is no longer in operation, a relic from when the ship was built. Emma slams the door and locks it just in time as the boys start hammering on the door, calling for her to come out. Yeah, nah.
Oh, I don't like it. Nah.
Nah.
Didn't like
Nah.
it. Didn't like it.
Nah.
Nah, dog.
Nah.
Kiki has been playing hide and seek with the little ghost girl Mary, aged 7, for a while, and has seen no other passengers. She doesn't really know how to deal with kids, or thinks about her own mom and what she would do. For a few moments, Kiki becomes introspective and realises her mom has become detached, but she still wants her back. Mary wants her mom too, and though it may be hollow, Kiki promises to help find her. The elevator arrives with a ding, and Mary declares it's time to go down. Meanwhile, Chase is berating himself for losing Kiki, for being a terrible friend, being a terrible producer, and putting his girlfriend in the position of being possessed by a damn ship. That's when he spots the ghost captain he caught on the camera. This time, Chase is able to talk to him. He's Captain Edward J. Smith of the RMS Titanic.
What?
And he's looking for icebergs. What is the captain of the Titanic doing on the Queen Anne?
I don't know,
Queen
but
Anne
I
is the
love it.
Titanic's sister ship. It was built after the Titanic sank.
I love it.
Captain Smith remarks that it's every man for himself, but for Chase, that's simply not true. The Ghost Gang is stronger together. As he makes this decision, the elevator dings, revealing Kiki.
Emma is still in the boiler room, lying spread out on the floor. The paranormal patrol guys aren't banging on the door anymore, but she thinks they're still outside. That's when she notices Bram inside the room with her. And at first, she's terrified. The same feeling washes over her as that night in the Hearst Hotel. This time, though, there's something different. A tall figure made of the black ooze she's been seeing is behind Bram, restraining him, scaring him. A tendril wrapped around Bram's wrist tightens and he drops his knife, which Emma picks up, and with a scream of months of pent-up rage, she stabs Bram. Emma wakes up then, startled by droplets of black ooze. She isn't scared because she's seen the ooze so much now. Emma tells the ooze to show her, and she follows it as it crawls across the floor.
Chase and Kiki are still looking for Emma, but decide to regroup in the suite. Kiki takes the opportunity to speak to her mom and try to start rebuilding their relationship, and they make a good start. Billy offers to help find Ghost Mary's mom and says the cruise director has worked his way up the ranks on the ship for 40 years, so he might be able to help. This is freaking genius.
Yeah.
The cruise director was once a bartender. The bartender. Elizabeth Walker's bartender. Billy's flirting's paid off.
Oh my gosh. Chrissy is stuck inside Elizabeth Walker. She knows she's in the wrong body in the wrong time, but is starting to forget herself. She relives the final moments of Elizabeth's life, her diary, the bartender, and the man she does not want to marry. In one reliving, something changes, and Chrissy is able to look at the first page of Elizabeth Walker's diary and see the name of her horrible fiancé, Edwin William Pritchett III. Chrissy's own eyes fly open, and Billy is sitting next to her. Chrissy tells her Edwin's full name, begs her to remember, and give it to Chase, Kiki, and Emma before being pulled back and forgetting.
Chase and Kiki are headed to the Starlight Lounge for bingo. Well, to find John Brady, the cruise director. While Kiki takes over caller duties and enters the octogenarians, Chase pulls out his phone and records his interview. They're right. John worked on the boat when Elizabeth Walker died, but then Chase realises John was the bartender Elizabeth was involved with. John believes Elizabeth's death was suicide because there was a note in her diary, but he doesn't protest when Chase asks if he wants to help her, or when he and Kiki tell him they're going to take John to meet Elizabeth again. Meanwhile, in the bowels of the ship, Emma is following the ooze into tighter and tighter crawl spaces. It's getting darker, and when she pulls out her phone for its flashlight, no one can hear her scream when two red eyes stare back at her from the dark. Nope.
On the way to the suite, John opens up about knowing Elizabeth. In the suite, Billy is pacing, waiting for the ghost gang to arrive. She gives them the name Chrissy told her, Edwin William Pritchett III, and John confirms that was Elizabeth's fiancé. Suddenly, there's a knock on the door, and Rose, their dinner table companion, comes in. She was earwigging at the bingo game and has something to tell them. Her husband, Trip, whose full name is Edwin William Pritchett III, has carried something with him from a previous relationship for 40 years. Pulling it out of her bag, Rose shows them Elizabeth's diary. The diary flies out of Rose's hands and falls open to the suicide note. Chrissy then stands on wobbly legs, walks to the diary on the ground, rips out the suicide note, and says, "Not mine." But the voice isn't Chrissy's. As Chase and Kiki are planning to talk to Trip, John slips out. Billy has caught the whole thing on her phone's camera.
Get on there, Billy. The eyes Emma finds are decorations in the sarcophagus from the curse myth. It's not really a myth now,
Not a myth
is
now.
it?
Not a myth.
Emma takes photos and videos for Chase before crawling out of the tiny space straight into Tom from the Paranormal Patrol. And making it worse, he's still under the Queen Anne's influence.
No.
He grabs at her, chases her, and genuinely tries to frighten her, but Emma has stared down her serial killer nightmare. This is nothing.
Nothing.
Instead, Emma calls the ship out, stunning Tom long enough for her to start making the hard way up the long stairs with a twisted ankle. She ignores all the spooks and spectres littering her path and can hear Tom screaming. More so when he trips and she can hear the bone breaking.
Yeah.
At the top of the stairs, Emma finds Tina, who found the other two paranormal boys sleeping off the drink in a lounge and has gone looking for Tom. Emma asks if she wants in on solving the curse mystery. Heck, she can take all the credit as long as the sarcophagus is returned home.
By the time Chase and Kiki reach the casino where Rose said Trip is likely spending most of his time on the ship, John Brady has his hands wrapped around Trip's neck. As security is being called, John punches Trip, and while on the floor, Trip reaches for his cane, and then there is a loud bang. It wasn't just a cane. It had a gun secreted in it, and Trip had shot John in the chest. Chase and Kiki tried to help John while security takes Trip away in zip ties. As life leaves John, he sees the lady in white. Chrissy Elizabeth has come to the casino and cradles John as he takes his last breath. She's been waiting for him. After John dies and Elizabeth leaves Chrissy's body, Chase can feel her warmth returning.
She is done present. The sarcophagus is gone. The curse is lifted. The spirits have left the Queen Anne. She is the last one left and is powerless.
When Chrissy, Chase, and Kiki arrive back to their suite, Billy is pretty much vibrating. She's found Ghost Mary's, Mary Ann Roberts' mother, Eleanor Roberts, but she passed away 30 years ago. Chrissy promises to do a little ceremony to reunite them. Speaking of reuniting, Emma comes bursting through the door, covered in black oil, and happily launches herself at Kiki, exclaiming, "She's broken the curse!"
The rest of the voyage is smooth sailing. The Ghost Gang is able to record their episode. The sarcophagus will be taken off the ship in Southampton and returned to its proper home, and the Queen Anne leaves them alone. Tina makes Tim, and Toby apologise to Emma and gives her box seats to a Dallas Cowboys game she can sell on Ticketmaster for a buttload. Mysteriously, as Tina leaves the ship, she turns and wishes them good luck with their new show. Chase looks at his phone, which has just pinged. They've bagged a TV contract with an up-and-coming competing network of Creep TV, RIP TV, and are willing to work with them around their school schedules. Ooh, network!
As the Ghost Gang disembarks the Queen Anne, all the ship's ghosts watch on. Elizabeth Walker and John Brady, though, are dancing together to Forever Young, and a mother with her little girl in a blue dress and holding a teddy bear spin in circles. Chrissy isn't the only one with tears in her eyes. Chase, Kiki, and Emma can see the Queen Anne's ghostly passengers too. Forever young, I wanna be forever young. Do you really wanna live forever? And this is why Amanda doesn't sing. Yay! Everyone, think about that. Me singing Forever Young. And listen to this promo.
Go and listen to Horror Hotel.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea too.
Books and Homes USA partners with schools across the country to provide their students with brand new free books to take home and enjoy. We believe in helping kids build their own home libraries to support early literacy achievement and promote a lifelong love of reading. To learn more, visit www.booksandhomesusa.org. Make a gift today and help us spread the joy that comes from receiving a new book.
I just want to keep singing it. I just want to keep singing it, but I'm not gonna.
I mean, don't let me stop you.
No, I'm not gonna. It's fine. We have discussion to have, and it is not about how poorly I sing. Can I just first say that I love books with multiple points of view, as we all know, and I love a good multicast audiobook. It's just so good. Yes. So good. Yes. I love it. Ugh. And Queen Anne, I loved her voice. So good.
Perfect
audiobook
casting.
Was fantastic. Yes. So it was just brilliant.
I haven't written down the audiobook narrators. I feel like I should find them out. Leanna Bertrand, Mia Dujay. That's a name I can't pronounce. David Lee Hyun, Kaylin Lee, and Helen Lloyd.
Okay, I did not.
I'm going to put those names in our chat so you can actually probably say them properly.
Okay, and also I couldn't hear them because you turned into a robot, so it was like cursed a little bit. And
oh well, that's brand.
Yes, it is. So that's very interesting. However, we will be able to hear it in the actual audio episode because your computer is not currently cursed that we know of. And your solo recording will not be haunted. I don't know any of those people, but I assume that they also narrated book 1. But anyway, it's a fantastic audiobook, so everyone needs to go and listen to that one, and Haunted Hotel, and our episodes about that, and just everything about this book series. So good. All of it. It's amazing.
And they're just fun.
Yeah, they're so fun. I think Kiki getting stuck on deck 7 might have been like one of my favorite parts. Like, it was so creepy, but it was wholesome at the same time, which, you know, you wouldn't think that I would love that on account of me being dead inside. But I don't know. I really liked that scene. Running down the stairs and up the stairs, and it's just deck 7, over and over and over and over and over again. I really liked that scene.
But sometimes I think the simple things like that are creepier than monsters coming out of nowhere jump scaring you. You know, or you know, the big slasher gore scenes. It's something that should be so simple as going up and down stairs, but it's not working. That's scary.
Yeah,
because there's a greater chance of probability.
Yeah, I also did really like when, at the very beginning, when all of the ghosts like just stop and stare, and then they're oozing. Oh, yeah. Like, I love a good ooze. I love a good ooze. So good.
You know what this book needs? More ooze.
You know, it had plenty of ooze. I think it had just enough ooze.
Just enough ooze.
Yeah. Which, speaking of ooze, can I ask? It's been a few weeks since I read this book. And so I can't quite remember if there's something that happened, something that was said, something that I should have remembered and I didn't. And it didn't come up in the summary. I mean, it did. It happened, but no more details. When Emma is in the boiler room and Bram is there, and there's the ooze figure that grabs Bram, who is the ooze figure?
This is a question I was going to have you actually ask you. I think the ooze is the sarcophagus, the King Ramesses or whoever they named it as.
Okay.
Because at one point, after which is one of my favourite scenes, is when Emma stabs Bram and kind of retakes her mind a little bit. Mm-hmm. When she rage stabs Bram, she says to the ooze, "Go on then, show me." And then the ooze kind of oozes off. The word ooze has lost all meaning.
Yeah, it has.
And then it shows her, it takes her to the sarcophagus.
Right.
So I think the ooze that she's been seeing all over the ship at this point is the sarcophagus. And I don't know why necessarily it was showing her Bram. Or, actually, no. What I think was happening is the ooze was connecting with Emma. Unfortunately, Bram was getting in the way. Her brain Bram was getting in the way.
Yes.
And that's why it glues him down and uses its tendrils and holds Bram and terrifies Bram for her to be able to kill him.
Because he's
and
like,
then it's like,
look,
right,
dude.
you are now free. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like,
look,
you are
dude,
free.
You gotta leave her alone. Get out of here.
Don't be a dick. Stop being a dick. You're dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not welcome here.
No, Brain Bram, you are not welcome. Get out of here.
Emma, come get me, love. So I go home. Because sarcophagus, King Ramesses or whatever, the was obviously for me, saw that Emma was his greatest chance of escape. He may have done it to other people, but because we don't see them, they may have been killed by the Queen Anne, or they may not have paid any attention to it. There may have been one of the suicides on board ship because they couldn't take what was going on.
I feel like,
but I think
I feel like they were able to be successful because they're a team, and like it's mentioned a couple of times throughout the story that they are a package deal. They all go together. They will always help each other out. And so together, working as a team, like, it's like they're one unit. And so Chrissy is taking the majority of the Queen Anne haunting. And then Kiki gets a little bit of it too with the ghost girl, but then she wants to help. And then Chase is there running all over the place in the background, seeing the guy from the Titanic. But because they each have a part, they're each a part of this whole, I think that's how they were able to defeat the Queen Anne and rescue the sarcophagus, whoever was in there. And I think if they had been on board the ship individually, it wouldn't have happened. They wouldn't have been able to succeed. And I think it's just because they're such a great team that they were able to do it.
I think that the spirits of the Queen Anne saw that. Because Mary, Ghost Kid Mary, helped Kiki kind of like reaffirm what she needs to get a relationship with her mom.
Mm-hmm.
Which works because she ends up having the horrible conversation, but a horribly difficult conversation with her mom. And now they're on new footing. They've got a new understanding and they're going to build and work towards that.
Yeah.
The Titanic captain, you know, I'm looking for icebergs. It's every man for himself. When Chase actually realises, hang on, no, I've ran away from Kiki because of her impractical shoes. But I know we are the Ghost Gang and we are stronger together. And that's when Mary takes Kiki back to Chase.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Sarcophagus guy, who has probably very unintentionally cursed the Queen Anne, he's got Emma to come and find him. He's helped keep her safe from the Queen Anne possessed Paranormal Patrol boys. So yeah, you're right. They're working together as a team, though they are having some individual adventure. They're working together as a team. The ghosts of the Queen Anne are using them, for want of a better word, to help them.
Yes.
Because obviously Elizabeth Walker's possessing Chrissy, so she's helping from that point of view.
Yes. Yeah.
It's very complex, really.
It really is. And like I feel like it's not a super long book, but there's so many pieces and like they all fit together perfectly. It's like it's perfect. It's a perfect little bite.
Which was the same as with Horror Hotel.
Right.
So much happened in not a very big book.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's a lot of little threads which are tied up. Yeah. Which is one of the things I love about this series. And at the moment, as it stands, it's a duology, which is fantastic. You know, we love a duology.
We do love a duology.
But there's no loose threads. If there's anything unanswered, which is what are they doing next?
Right.
It's down to you as the reader to build that yourself.
Yes.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
That's perfectly fine. And that's one of the reasons I like it, is because there's so much going on, but it ties up nicely.
It really
does. It's a nice little bow at the end.
Yes. Though I do wonder, like, not everybody in Haunted Hotel was able to see these things, and now they can. Is it just because the Queen Anne was seeking help? Or the ghost of the Queen Anne, I mean, not Queen Anne herself. She was seeking more delicious treats to devour. But is it just these ghosts that they can see? Or do you think that, like, their horizons have been expanded?
This is the question I was going to ask you, actually. Are the others sensitive as well? Or is it just the Queen Anne ghosts? Because it could be that it's just the Queen Anne ghosts showing them to the full Ghost Gang as a thank you. Yeah. We're free, we're enjoying our undead life now. Or it could be they have picked up a level of sensitivity. Not to Chrissy's degree.
Right.
Because Chrissy almost died, that she had the traumatic event. But saying that, Kiki went in the pool and she almost drowned.
Yeah.
And Emma was nearly killed by a serial killer at the Hearst. So, you know, they have had traumatic near-death experiences that could result in the psychic abilities. So, but I don't know. Unless we had a third book that actually answered the question.
I know.
I think it's whatever which way you want it to be. At the moment, as it stands, I would say it's the Queen Anne's ghosts appearing to say thank you. Yeah. And that we are free, rather than suddenly all four of them have got psychic abilities, because then it kind of belittles Chrissy's abilities a little bit. It really
does, and I feel like that's not something that Faith McClaren and Victoria Fulton would do.
No, I don't think they would do that at all. No. They've got very distinctive personalities and roles in the relationship, and they wouldn't cross over them.
Yeah, they wouldn't do that. Okay, so everyone needs to go and listen to the bonus episode, obviously, because there's a lot of stuff that happens in that one. But did we learn this in the bonus episode, or was it after the fact that it's just Horror Hotel and Cursed Cruise, and they're not continuing it? Did that take place in the
I think it was after.
I think it did.
I've got a feeling it was after. It was when we were chatting afterwards. Because we didn't talk a lot about specifics to do with the book.
No, we didn't. We did. We did with Would You Rather, but...
Well, because Rebekah said that she's got a lot of books coming out soon, which sound fantastic.
Right, yes.
It's going to cover the gambit of... A lot of our superfans will love one or both of these books that are coming out.
For sure.
So I'm not going to say anything else. You have to go listen to
the
go and listen
to the bonus episode for sure.
Yeah. And I think because of what the individual projects that they've got going on at the moment, there's no immediate plans for any more Ghost Gang in the schedule.
But we can always dream. We can always dream. We can. Getting back to Cursed Cruise though. Yes.
I was happy that Chrissy was not the central figure this time around. Like, she really was in Horror Hotel because she had to be.
Right.
You know, she was the focus of Bram, who was the serial killer. She was the focus of the hotel.
Yes.
But with this one, it was very much Chase, Kiki and Emma. And even though we have the multiple points of view in both sets of books, Chrissy didn't get a lot of quote-unquote airtime in this. Or page time.
Well, and I think that's really because we needed the team effort to break the curse and to fight the ghost. To fight the haunted ship.
to fight the haunting. Yeah, and it was nice to see the development of their characters a little bit more. Chase isn't just pining away for Chrissy. He's genuine. You feel like it's establishing his actual genuine affection for her.
Yes.
And over being a producer of a paranormal show. And Emma trying to get over being, nearly murdered by a serial killer. However, this may come across very unkind. I was so frustrated with Emma. She clearly needs therapy. She needs help. And she's just repressing it so much.
Yeah.
I mean, she might have killed the spectre of Bram, but she needs professional help.
Yeah, well, this is something that we always struggle with in YA books, is the characters not having the conversations that they need to have. So this is just another one of those where you need to be telling somebody. Why are you keeping it all on the inside? There are other people who can help you. So it's just what happens in teen books, unfortunately.
It is.
I did appreciate that Billy was there.
Yes, it was nice to have a responsible adult.
Yes. And the fact that she doesn't believe in all this nonsense. She's just like a regular, straight-up gal wanting to be on a cruise ship. Like, she was needed. She was key, I think.
She was key for Emma in their bonding over the correct buffet etiquette and how to make the biggest plate possible of the nicest foods possible. I really appreciate that. I really like that.
Yeah, that was amazing. It was really nice to have a grown-up that wasn't terrible.
Yes.
Involved in the lives of teenagers.
Do you know what I thought was the weirdest bit?
What?
The ghost of the Titanic captain.
What was he doing there?
I was like,
what was he doing there? What? Get out of here.
How'd you get there?
Get out of here.
How are you doing that? What are you doing there? But I know Faith Rebekah definitely confirmed within the bonus episode, she said the words "there is a portal," and I think it was covered in the book as well, that there must be a portal between the Titanic and the Queen Anne, because the Queen Anne is the Titanic's sister ship. So he's kind of like, you know, at one point during the Atlantic crossing, he's kind of made the jump. But I still was like, it's the Titanic, Captain.
What
It's
are
a
you
bit
doing?
weird.
Get out of here.
What are you doing there? What are you doing?
What are you
doing
doing?
there, baby boy?
Get out of here.
Yeah. But what I did really like is that it's not a stereotypical haunting of a white lady. I imagined, you know, big 80s perm.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, I did really appreciate that as well. And again, talk about it in the bonus episode, but I appreciated the lady in white is not the stereotypical lady in white that you see, you know, in Supernatural, you see in all of movies and books containing a lady in white ghost. In Anna Dressed in Blood by Kendara Blake, there's a lady in white ghost. Like, it's not the typical
like Victorian
wafting
era.
Yes, she's from the 80s and she is amazing.
Yes, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, me too.
And I enjoyed how the Queen Anne was more of a character. Like, Hearst Hotel in the first one was a character, but it didn't have a voice.
Yes,
They freaking gave the Queen Anne a voice.
Queen Anne was my favorite character.
Yeah.
So good.
I really appreciate Queen Anne, but I kind of appreciate Kiki as well. For like, and Emma actually to a degree. Both of them stepped out of their wheelhouse. Both of them stepped up in certain regards. Like, I liked the way that Kiki was like, you know what, I need to have a conversation with my mom, and she had it. And as difficult as the conversation was, she had it, and it was better. Like, they'll have a better relationship for it.
Yeah.
And she's much more. She's always been very confident, but she's very assertive in this one as well. And I really liked Emma again stepping out and like the way she broke the curse. You know, her and Tina have got some kind of like understanding.
Yes.
Now.
Yeah.
An appreciation for each other, and yeah I like that. But oh my god, the Queen Anne.
She was the best. Those are the best parts of the book. Especially the audio. Audio was amazing.
Yeah. When the Queen Anne voice came in, I was like, oh, hello.
Yeah, who's this? What?
Oh.
Hi.
Pleased to meet you.
Yeah, who are you? Ooh.
You're creepy. Nice. Like it. Love it. Keep up the good work.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. Can we talk surprises?
Yes.
Tripp's gun cane was it for me. The gun cane. Like, how you sneak that on a ship? How you sneak the gun cane? It's like the
with money. You disguise it with money.
True.
The money is a bribe.
I was thinking it was like the hair dagger from Lying in the Deep.
Lying in the Deep.
Like, oh no, it's not a weapon. It's my cane. It's my hairdo stick. Like,
my hairdo stick.
We need
hairdo stick.
we need some more like security on our ships, because if you can get a gun on board, like, that's serious. And now I have a question. Is the whole cane a gun? Like, and the handle, you know, it's got a trigger, and then you have to pull up the whole thing, and the whole thing, you know, at the end? Or does the handle come off the stick, and then just the handle is the gun?
I mean, that's very specific, so I can't answer it. From gun canes that I have seen,
The whole thing?
It's a whole thing, but you don't need to hold it because it's light enough for you. Just because in theory the handle is.
No.
Is,
what
so
I'm doing right now, which you can see if you join our Patreon, is me being the cane. Like, this is the end of the cane.
Oh, you are the cane.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So where your head is, that's the handle and the trigger. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. So then, and the full length of the cane is the barrel
Yes.
to your little pinky.
Yes.
Yes. It's making perfect sense on an audio.
Right.
So, yeah, I think it's a full one, because I think what's happened is when John wrestled into the ground, the cane's obviously fallen down to his side, he's just picked it up and just...
But that
John's being held back.
Comically...
And it'll just be one of those single bullet. It'll just be a single bullet one.
Yeah, but that's silly. That's silly. Surely it's not the whole cane. That's very silly.
Right. God,
but now, can I just suggest that you get one of these and you have a gun cane? That's the only way that's going to solve it. I don't care what you're looking up on the internet right now. The only thing that is going to solve this surprise, this mystery, is for you to purchase a gun cane.
You can get a Victorian cane prop, which is a gun cane as well, for $2.99.
Yeah, I'm just gonna need.
It's just a prop.
I'm gonna need you to get one, but a real one, please, if you can. How do you feel about purchasing a gun, though?
I'm not buying a gun.
But it's a cane. Did
you know Penal Code 24410 PC is the California statute that prohibits making, importing, selling, giving, or possessing gun canes? And it can be charged as a misdemeanor or felony and carries up to 3 years in county jail. That's crazy.
That's great. I'm glad we discovered that.
But they're all showing. It looks like so far that it is, as we discussed, a barrel. The full length of the cane is the barrel. Yes, your head to pinky is the barrel. No, I'm not going to get a gun cane. I'll get a saw cane.
Fine. It's not the same.
My second cane has been nicknamed, by the way. The one, it's black. For people who don't know, it's black with skulls on it. And my child called it yesterday officially. It's Sticky Joe.
Good.
Instead of Scully Joe.
That's good.
Like, yeah, it's stuck.
Yeah,
it's stuck.
Yeah, that's really good. That's good. Did you have any surprises?
It's kind of linked to yours a little bit. The fact that Ruby seemed completely fine, that her husband is a murderer, like a twice over murderer. So she's fine with him killing his fiancée back in the 80s, and there wasn't really much of a reaction when she killed John, the cruise director.
Did she know?
Unless she's got a great prenup.
She probably does have a really great prenup, but did she know until being on this ship? Did she know beforehand that he killed?
No, I don't think she did.
I don't think she did. So...
She's learnt about the murder at the same time as everybody else did in the suite, because she was there to witness the diary ripped out of her hands and Chrissy being all weird.
Right. So, I don't know if she's okay with it as much as she is okay with the inevitably large amounts of money that she's going to obtain.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm fine with her taking that inevitably large amount of money because Tripp is an asshole.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, his name is Tripp. With 2 P's? Fuck off, man.
He's got a really long name and the third.
Yeah.
You can't trust anybody with a name like that.
No. Triple names, we have learned from history, are inevitably murderers. And Tripp shortening his name with the extra P is just for the pretentiousness.
Yeah. He reeks asshole.
He does. Is it time for Would You Rather now? I feel like that was a really good line.
Did you hear that?
There was an extra pew-pew this time.
It's ghosts!
Oh no, we're haunted. We're haunted.
Oh, cursed. We are cursed.
I think I am cursed. We are haunted / cursed this time by Rebekah Faubion, which you might not know is also called Faith McClaren. And yay!
I'm the ghost of your present.
Yes. We love it. So we might have mentioned it a little bit. We might have squeaked about it. It's hard to say. But we're excited that you're here and that you've joined us and that you're cursing us and also haunting us.
Cursing, haunting, all the things. I'm here to bring all the vibes from the beyond.
Yes. Yes.
I want all the paranormal activity.
All the paranormal activity
So good.
is welcome.
So good. All right. So, what's our first question, Claire?
Okay, so our first question was asked on social media, so we're going to give, before we jump into our answers, we've got some comments from the listeners that often we can steal the answers from. So we asked, would you rather investigate a haunted hotel or a cursed cruise? On Facebook, it was 70% would rather do the haunted hotel. On Instagram, it was 91% who would rather do the haunted hotel. And on Threads, it was straight up 50-50. TikTok, the curse strikes again with TikTok, so we don't have any stats there.
Why does TikTok hate us so much?
Because we're
TikTok
fabulous,
hates
darling.
The algorithm of TikTok.
No, we get content warnings all the time, and it's just would you rather questions, and we can't figure out why they hate us so much.
It's so
The
weird.
last time it's because we were trying to sell unicorns and centaurs, we think.
Yes, unicorns and centaurs are real. I don't
Maybe
know.
they're like, this is fake news. Like, what?
I don't know, but it's terrible.
It's inexplicable. It's a curse.
It's
We
a
are
curse.
That's your actual curse.
Yeah.
We have an actual. It's one of
Yeah.
many actual curses that we have, right? Well, we do have comments from other places, so we'll jump into those.
Yeah.
So Colin on Facebook said, "I'd have to go for the haunted hotel. I mean, there's a good chance of getting a fatal dose of spooking from both of them, but only one of them allows you to fall overboard and be left to the careless embrace of the endless depths. No, thank you. Do not want." Have you seen the freaky ass shit that lives in the sea? No. I'll keep my haunted ass firmly on dry land.
That's an excellent comment.
Emily on Facebook said, I would go for a haunted hotel because I spent my honeymoon in one, so I can take it. Same.
Emily, we need details.
Same.
Wow, Emily. Yeah, you need to come on the show.
Candace on Facebook said it's just classic, and I feel like you'd have more ghosts at a haunted hotel.
Katrina on Facebook says, I'm scared of ghosts. Maybe the cruise, so I can get a nice holiday. I don't know, Katrina. I'm a little bit worried.
I mean, to be fair, in Cursed Cruise, it was like, within 24, 48 hours, then they were able to enjoy themselves.
Yeah, like they got a good time at the end for sure. But you know, it took a minute. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know about that.
In the time it takes to get over the seasickness for the tablets to really take effect, you've broken a curse, and you can hit the all-you-can-eat buffet.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If you can get over the seasickness, that's the question.
That is true. That is true. Well, Coral Reef Books reads on Instagram says, "This Would You Rather was so hard because I've always wanted to investigate the Queen Mary, but I don't want to be out in the ocean, so I will pick Hotel Stanley."
Ooh.
You know,
And they've got a place they want to go.
yeah.
Definitely. I mean, to be fair, who doesn't have a list?
Queen
Right.
Mary isn't in the ocean. Like it's on, like, you know, it's bolted to the pier. So
It's
technically, it's a hotel.
Yeah.
Really.
So are you
You
are you
do that.
tricking the would you rather? Are you
I
gonna
know, I'm like, actually,
God,
it's of both worlds right there.
This is next level playing Would You Rather. This is how you play Would You Rather.
Yes.
So I golf clap you right now.
Yeah, that was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Majestic play.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so what is your answer gonna be? Are you cheating? Are you cheating? Would you rather?
I'm cheating. I'm investigating the Queen Mary, and so I get to do both. I mean, absolutely, because I don't want to be on the ocean. So like, I am scared of the ocean just without it being haunted. Like, I love to look at it from sure, but the call of the void is way too great for me. I'm like, I feel like I would get out there and they'd be like, jump. And I'd be like, okay, like just like let me be one with you. So I'm gonna do, I want to stay at a haunted hotel. I've stayed at many haunted hotels, so that doesn't bother me that much. I love haunted things, but haunted things that I can't get lost at sea on.
Yeah, there's no escape when you're at sea. I mean, there is an escape, but you don't want that one.
You don't want that one. We don't want that
No.
one. Yeah, we're not trying to do that. What about you guys?
Haunted hotel, hands down. I do know this. Like everybody said so far, the sea is freaking scary. I mean, when you see those pictures of like whales under the water, and you just see this dark shadow and this massive ocean, you're like, no,
No.
no, I'm noping out of there. I cannot. I
The
can't
ocean
breathe in water. That's a big deal for me.
don't have gills.
Yeah, I don't have
Guys,
gills.
the ocean's just like, I don't want you here, so you shouldn't come. And I
Exactly.
respect the ocean at a high level.
Yes, respect the ocean.
I'm worried because I am literally going on a cruise in like 3 weeks, and all of our books that we're talking about are all about the most horrible, haunted, gruesome things that can happen on a cruise ship. And it's just like, okay, Amanda, and now it's time for you to die.
You
So-
may
Just get murder instead of haunting.
Yeah, murder
Right.
is different.
Yes. So when you hear about the cruise ship coming back from Alaska and everyone on board has been murdered except for me,
You're like,
fine.
I didn't do it. It wasn't me.
it wasn't me. It was the
actually-
ghosts.
That just as a premise for a story of a cruise ship goes out and when it returns, everybody's dead except one person. Like that is such a good premise.
That's
for-
Dracula. You're a vampire. If
I
that
am.
happens,
I am. It's
you're a
perfect.
vampire.
It's perfect. I love it. Okay, let's get to writing this one. Rebekah, you can have it. Ready, go. Just like drop our names in, make us
writing
characters.
the next book.
Yeah.
Yeah, you write
Yeah.
the book. We'll be characters. Kill us off. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'll add it in. Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
To the
okay.
scale.
The dream is one day for us to be killed off in a book.
Yes, it really is.
I mean, honestly, same. And no one's done it to me yet. So
That's just rude.
rude. Yeah, it's like I have so many friends that are authors. Come on, guys.
Come on.
Just kill me once.
Okay, so our next question, and that was the only one that has comments, so the rest of them are just going to be between us. Our next question is, would you rather be possessed by the Lady in White or Queen Anne?
Oh gosh. Do I answer first?
Yes, oh, you have to. You definitely
It's
have
okay.
to.
Okay. So, I feel like I'm gonna say Queen Anne, and I'm gonna say this because she is a murderer. Like I kind of feel for her. And like the idea of being possessed by something that is like also not actually like the soul or spirit of a human is really fascinating to me. Because the Queen Anne is a ship that took on a life form. So a life of its own. So I think I would want to be possessed by her. I mean, as long as I could get rid of her. As long as I highlight Chrissy's hell or the ghost gang there to help me, I would do the Queen Anne just because I think it would be fascinating to be like suddenly murderous for no reason.
Yeah.
Can I blame my murderous intent on being possessed by a sentient ship?
I mean, it seems like a classic way to go if if you have to go on a killing spree to be like, it was the ship. It
It was
the
totally
murderous
the ship the whole
Maybe
time.
do it.
It'll stand up in every court in this land. It's fine. No
Sure.
judge would convict you of murder with that
They-
kind
they'll
of.
be like, you need to go to a special place, but not you're not okay.
This place has padded cells and nice comfy beds. I would go there for the naps alone.
I
right?
feel like
And
it's
like you get meals, they feed you.
yeah, I mean you're
It's
you're
just
you
no
know
responsibilities.
No, it's fine.
This is I'm being sold here.
Yeah.
you're like I'm set. Let's do it.
I know for
picking-
a fact you're going to say Queen Anne,
Yeah.
Amanda, and yeah,
Of course.
any excuse to be the bad guy.
Yeah, of
Mhm.
course. Queen Anne is my favorite character in the book, which is ridiculous because she's not real.
She's a character.
She is a character. She
Like,
is.
okay, so that was one of my favorite parts about writing this book. I mean, genuinely, like when we were like discussing, you know, how are we gonna bring in this lore of the ship, I was like, I mean, we had this conversation, my writing partner and I was like, what if we just like wrote POVs? And she was sold. And it was really challenging, but it was like my favorite part because you're taking something that is so disturbing and making it get to tell you why.
It's really creepy as well because it's like if you think about like the guests or when the Queen Anne was a military ship, there's people wandering around the insides, and I kind of like that kind of I kind of looked down and I was like, imagine like people wandering around, and you're the murderer, and you're the sentient form with people and things.
I mean, wouldn't it?
It's really creepy when you think about it.
Can't you like totally just understand why she had to kill them?
I would be well
Yes.
pissed off. I'd be like, you know what, you're all going overboard.
Yeah.
Also, you know they're up to stuff in there. They're not behaving the way one should behave on a ship, as majestic as she is.
She was
Respect
for sure
the RMS Queen Anne. Respect.
Yeah. Yeah. That was on them. Like I kind of hate to say it, but I side with her, and this is why I would be possessed with her.
Yeah.
100%. I don't want to be possessed by the lady in white. Like, she had a crap time.
Oh, she did.
She
did.
really did.
No, don't. No, it's awful. If you're going to be possessed by something, at least be possessed by something murderous.
Yes.
Yeah, somebody who's getting to have a good time.
Right.
Like, I don't, because I mean, obviously in Curse Cruise, we see what it's like to be possessed by the lady in white, and it does not seem fun to me.
No.
So
I hate having
not
cold
fun.
feet.
How cold was Chrissy though the entire time? She had like 1,000 blankets and she was still cold.
she was cold because it was coming from the inside.
Yeah.
So it's like nothing you pile on is going to
No.
so cold. And I really don't like being cold. So that's another thing for me with
Right.
that. No.
Right.
I feel like the Queen Anne would run a little hot. So
Yeah, I mean, they're stoking the boilers,
yeah.
right? Are those words that are ship words?
That sounded very nautical. I'm very impressed.
Nailed it. You nailed it.
Just don't get your starboard and your ports correct.
No idea.
No, yeah, I don't know. The ship language, the extent of it that I know is in the book. So
That's enough.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. We research what we have to research.
Right, right.
Next question. Would you rather have a ghost hunting YouTube channel or a ghost hunting TV network series?
I love this question because at first I thought my answer was going to be one thing, and now I'm like, no, I know what it is. I want a YouTube channel because I want more control. I feel like when you have a series, it's like more manufactured. It's like there's like a crew, there's like network expectations, like, and especially with like all that presence in a haunted location, I feel like you're going to be less likely to actually get an authentic like haunting from it. So I think I would want to do the YouTube channel because it's like less people. The ghosts I think are more likely to come out and play, and also just you have creative control of it, which just like Chase, I want to be in charge.
Yes. I 1,000,000% agree. I love ghost hunting programs and I watch many ghost hunting YouTube channels. I've seen the controversy of ghost hunting programs being axed from the network TV series. and all the conspiracies that are behind it and how they've moved to YouTube. And there's so much more creative control, and like you own the intellectual property on the YouTube channel, whereas the network like to meddle.
Yeah, they like to meddle and they want to create their own narrative. And I think like Chase, like I'm like his whole thing about wanting to get a show, I understand why he wants it, but I'm like, but you have the power, man. You've got over 2 million followers. Like, you don't need the show.
No, he needs a Patreon. Why has he started? Has he got a Patreon?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he thinks about money as much as he's thinking about like he sees it as like I want to be a director, so I want to be in like film. It's sort of like film adjacent, I think it's more about like his bigger goals, but he's the director already. On a network show, you're not going to be the director. There's going to be a director.
Yeah, and like things are changing now. There's all these networks, but like you have to pay to stream them, and it's tough. So I feel like everyone can have access to YouTube, whereas not everyone can have access to a certain network depending on what streaming service you use.
I know. Yeah, if it's on Peacock, I'm not watching it. Like, I don't have Peacock.
Right? Yeah, he's like, I don't want to buy something else. So
the level on Peacock that you have to get to where there's not any ads is too much for me. I'm just like, no. It takes like it takes you like 3 tiers to get there. And I'm just like,
it's insane. And like, I've started watching something.
No negativity for NBC, but like,
I've started watching something on Amazon Prime, and it's like, okay, well, we're going to show you this ad-free after these ads. And you're like, what the fuck, man?
After the first ones. Yeah. It's the ad has really gotten out of control on Amazon.
I was watching a movie with my son the other day on Amazon, and it was Jurassic Park we were watching, and it got to the bit, just as you're about to see the brontosauruses or brachios for the first time, and then suddenly smash cut to an advert, and I was like, no!
How dare they? How dare they do that?
How dare they? Exactly.
Iconic moments in film history, and you're gonna put a toothbrush ad before it. It's like, no.
I mean, I get it. There's like Discovery Plus, I have purely subscribed for the paranormal programs that are on there and the true crime stuff. That's it. That's the only reason I subscribe to it. And it used to be ad free, and now it is with ads. And I can pay more I pay less to have it with ads because I'm cheap and I've got a lot of other streaming services. But I know you've got to balance. Exactly. At least on YouTube, I fully expect the adverts to be there because I'm refused to upgrade. But yeah, and you can tell like a program that has been on the network, like has been on the travel program, it's usually that tends to be what they are, or Discovery, and then they've moved to YouTube. The difference is huge. And the quality as well, and like what they're doing in terms of quote unquote evidence, it's massive. And it's just the creative freedom of YouTube is so much better. The only problem is you are restricted to the monetization of the way that YouTube works as well. But it's only if it's certain levels of swearing and blood and gore, where I wouldn't expect that on a paranormal program.
You're probably not gonna have blood and gore, and I mean you may have swearing, but you can bleep out, like
Yeah, you'll have some expletives.
Like you said, you can do a Patreon. Like I see, there's a lot of creators that I follow that have Patreons as well, and it's just like that's like there's just a way around it. Chase,
you're smart, Chase. Figure it out.
You're a businessman,
right?
I can understand Chase wanting to be like a producer or a director on a ghost hunting program with a network series, whilst he's already doing the Ghost Gang. So I can see that. Like but not actually just having the Ghost Gang on the network. I think keep it on YouTube.
Keep it on YouTube. Keep control.
Yes, definitely. Okay, next question. Would you rather break the curse or solve the murder mystery?
This is easy for me because I'm a Scorpio. So I love a mystery. I am a detective by nature. So I would like to solve the mystery. I mean, no, not that I don't think breaking the curse is extremely important, because it obviously is like very, very important for the Queen Mary and all the all those people who were dying because of the curse. But I want to solve the mystery. Like growing up, I was always seeking a murder mystery to solve. Of course, I never found any. Never is funnily enough in my suburban town didn't stumble upon any great fresh bodies or anything, but
not for want of trying.
I was trying, and and I still haven't I live in Los Angeles, and I still haven't stumbled upon any great fresh bodies to investigate. But I have always wanted to solve the mystery, to like be the one, to find. And I'm always like, even if it's not like a murder, I'm like, if there's something I want to figure out, I think that like I'll like go down like a trail and I'll find clues about, like, I can like find connections on the internet for things. Like I'm definitely like, that person who's like, let me try to figure out what's really going on here. Like always. That I was probably a detective in another life, a private eye.
It sounds like you're one of those online detectives. There's a Netflix series, that 3-part series. I don't know if you have seen it, but it's really good. And it's Don't Fuck with Cats.
Oh God, Don't Fuck with Cats was so disturbing. I did watch it.
I haven't watched it.
Oh, Amanda, honestly, I was only going to watch the one episode. I watched all 3 off the bounce. It is brilliant.
Okay.
Because it's so freaking messed up.
So messed up.
Just...
like, I think like I wasn't expecting, like, they did a good job, because like animal death is like really hard for me.
I don't like that.
I can't handle. But they did a good job of how they cut and how they edited it and stuff. But despite the, I mean, like, but thinking about those people who actually watched those videos and did the investigations on the videos, like, I'm like, wow, you really are like, you're the strongest soldiers. Like that's
not all heroes wear capes. Some of them are behind keyboards. Honestly, that's what I kind of, every time somebody says I would be one of those online detectives, like you were just saying, that's exactly what I think of the Don't Fuck with Cats on Netflix. It's brilliant. It's only 3 hours of your life, but you will be absorbed.
Yeah, it's fully disturbing. Like the storyline is really, really wild. But the way that they did it was so cool.
Oh yeah. We are full of spoilers, but I do not want to spoil this because it is so good, so well done. It's a few years old now, so yeah.
I only like watched it, I feel like it was probably last year that I watched it. So I had heard a bunch about it, and I was like, no, and then I finally did, and then I was like, oh yeah, like you said, I was completely hooked. I was absorbed.
Okay. Yeah. I'm okay. I'm gonna have to watch it.
You're gonna have to. It's required now.
Your homework today is to watch TV.
It's fine. Done and done.
So are you breaking the curse, or are you solving a mystery then? The murder mystery, Amanda?
I don't know, because like in the book, I want, like, I'm struggling because I want to help the Queen Anne, but I also want to keep her around. And I feel like if I break the curse, she's just gonna go back to being a regular old ship gal. Yeah. And then I'm not gonna have her, possessing me anymore. So I feel like I have to solve the murder mystery just so I can keep Anne hanging around.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that at the end we don't like totally go into, like what happens to her. Like, she's quiet. That's sort of what we indicate. And my feeling is that like a piece of her soul still exists, nothing can, energy can't be created or destroyed. So somehow she was like there. Mm-hmm. And so I think a piece of her soul still exists. She's just not killing anymore.
Okay. But see, that's my favorite part. So
yeah, that's the fun part.
I am going to quote from the book, and this is why I'm going to solve the murder mystery and leave the Queen Anne to be the murderous ship that she is. I am trapped, alone, and empty. But I will watch them dance and eat and drink and make love and find thy joy. And I will wonder what it's like to be hungry for life. That is sad and so soul destroying. She's just an empty hull. And I'm like, I honestly, I read that bit and I was like, couldn't she just be like happy? No, she's just an empty
hull. She's an empty husk and she's dead inside. And that's me.
Her point for
and
living
just so sad. I was like, oh no, so I'm going to leave her to be a murderer, but I'm going to stick a sign on the door and say, if you come onto the Queen Anne, you have to sign this waiver because you may be murdered, and then on your head be it.
Yeah. Don't be a jerk on the Queen Anne. Like,
No.
you just don't be a jerk. Don't go. You had it coming, you know. Like,
Exactly.
I'm always like that person who's like, well, what did they do to get killed? Like, they like, you know, were you mean to the Queen Anne? Were you like abusing her? Because like that, you know,
Yeah.
women don't just murder.
No,
They
there's
murder for
there's always a reason.
There's always a reason.
Yeah, the chef was a jerk.
Yeah, I mean, the chef was such a jerk.
Yeah.
Deserved
I mean,
it. Deserved to be
little girl-
baked.
Little girl murder was pretty bad.
There's always got to be one little child haunting somewhere, though. That,
Yeah.
You've got ghost children are creepy. They're the
No, and
punches.
Yeah, you just have to have ghost children. Like, honestly, it's just a giggle is nothing worse when there's no one there. and
Right.
someone's giggling.
And like she was probably a brat.
Yeah.
Now she's not. Now she realizes the error of her ways, but I bet that kid was a little shit when she was alive.
Yeah.
I think she used to hide in places, and she used to do that creepy thing that kids do, going, ring a roses, and then just follow people around constantly. Excuse me. So all you can hear is the ring a roses. You're like, oh my god, am I going crazy, or is there a child? But no, the little shit was following you around for the entire voyage, going ring a roses. Now, so she probably doesn't.
I mean, maybe the Queen Anne was like, you are kind of like me, so you should stay here with me.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah, you
maybe the teddy bear was the abusive one.
Yeah.
And it was the teddy bear was the true victim. It's just, Mary got in the way.
Get her. She had to. Yeah, that was the only way to get the teddy bear.
Maybe.
Maybe we're just Queen Anne apologists in here.
We are.
We really are.
We really are.
Last question. Oh. Which ghost would you rather meet? And there was quite a few on the Queen Anne, wasn't there? There was
Yes.
Lady White, there was the militia, the chef, Mary, the captain of the Titanic.
So many.
Yeah.
Who would I rather meet? I mean, probably the captain of the Titanic. I feel like he has some explaining to do.
Dude, what the hell?
Happened? Like, what happened? So I think like he's the one we don't get much of his story either in the book. So I feel like we barely see him, we barely speak to him, and I'm like, and also he's like gone through a portal to get there. So like how, like that's interesting. Like where's the portal and how'd you get, like, can I go? Like I feel like he's got the most to say that we didn't say in the book, like that we didn't touch on. And also I just want to know, like, what, can you just walk me through it again? Like what happened that night?
He just turns around and goes, I really dropped the ball on that one, didn't I? Yeah, you think?
Whoopsie.
Wah, wah.
Men.
Oh. I think that I want to meet the lady in white because I really appreciated that, like, in a lot of stories where you have lady in white ghosts, they're like from the 50s. They're so, like, they're much older, but this girl, man, she's from the 80s, and I just want to see, like, her big hair and her big shoulders. She's rocking some really great makeup. And I just want to hang out with her. I know that her life was shitty and that she died, but I want to meet her because she's 80s and not 50s, and that's like the lamest reason.
Was like kind of cool,
Yeah.
And she was probably, and like she was trying to rebel in her life too. So I bet she was like actually like down to hang,
Yeah.
Like,
she played Cyndi Lauper's Girls Just Want to Have Fun at top volume
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah. She has a
really
really awesome soundtrack.
Yeah.
It was so refreshing to have a ghost from the 1980s rather than like the 1880s, because it's always the Victorian, if not earlier, and the wafting around in their nightgown, which
We love
it's
a
dream.
waft.
It's a dream. We love a
waft.
waft.
Okay,
But it's nice to have them from the 80s. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it was so fun because we wanted, obviously there were logistical reasons for that. We wanted to have, somebody, we wanted to solve the mystery, right? So we wanted to be able to solve it and it wouldn't just be something that, oh, is way in the past and we're not really affecting anybody. And so having her be from the 80s was definitely a choice made so that we could have some closure on this case.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't just feel like, oh, okay, we solved the cold case, but like nobody is alive to care about it.
Well, that was the Mary storyline, wasn't it, really? Like, nobody's alive to really, quote unquote, benefit from that being solved. But
Yeah.
she reunited with her ghost mum at the end, which was nice.
Yes. Yeah, she did. She got an afterlife resolution, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Which, when you've got a psychic who can tell you that, that is some kind of like solace, a resolution, because Chrissy can see that like this is happening. But yeah, we wanted one that was also like a real resolution in the real world.
Yeah. I like the drama of the lady in white ghosts as well. Like, I'd like to see it being played out. It reminds, I don't know if you've ever seen a movie, and I've talked about this with Amanda, called High Spirits.
I haven't, but I know the movie. I haven't seen it, but I know the movie.
And it's with Liam Neeson, I think it's like his first big major role, and he's an abusive Irish asshole in it, to be fair. He is horrible. But you have like the stereotypical ghosts in here, and as I'm reading through, same with Horror Hotel, I always think about that movie. I freaking love that movie. I need to find that movie somewhere. But it just reminds me of High Spirits, but obviously High Spirits is a dark comedy. But you have all those stereotypes, and you have like the lady in white, or you eventually get the lady in white, and it kind of reminds me of those, and I'd love to see that stereotypical lady in white ghost. Not the kid. I don't want the Ring of Roses, and I know that's not in the book. It's my canon that she sang that.
Like, it's my head canon.
Yeah, brilliant. But I don't want to. I know kids are creepy enough as it is. Never mind dead ones. So I want the lady in white as well.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to hang out with the kid ghost. Like, I mean, poor Kiki. She's like assigned to the kid ghost in this one.
Let's play hide and seek. Oh,
Fuck.
have you played the quiet game?
Yeah.
I would be introducing the ghost to the Switch. I'd be like, do you want to play some mobile games? Here's Candy Crush.
Here you go. Here's my phone. And they're like, it doesn't work. I can't interact with it.
Oh, no. Okay, so that's the end of our Would You Rather questions. Would You Rather was great. So is the rest of the bonus episode.
Brilliant.
So good. Everything about it was so good.
I want to listen to Rebekah talk more about all of that.
Yes. Definitely. But now we are moving on to favorite final thought quote. Do you have any favorites?
Fine. I won't tell one as well. Probably a few.
Yeah. There's lots of good ones in this one.
There really, really was. The buffet calls. The best buffet I've had on a cruise was the midnight chocolate buffet. That was very nice. Also the breakfast buffet, because I had a lot of potato croquette things on the deck. It was very nice. My narration borders on melodrama, but hey, it's living. I sometimes internally narrate, and it quite often has accents. Very bad accents. I shudder, remembering the feel of his cold, evil lips on mine, wishing I could go back in time and not be romantically entangled with a sadistic killer. We've all gone through that phase.
We have.
No freaking seances until we all sleep. Don't seance when you're tired.
No, don't seance where you shit.
Don't seance where you shit.
Buy that shirt on Redbubble. Because it exists. for whatever reason.
And this one, which is potentially, is this life or is this book? Napping is my favourite pastime.
Love a nap. Love a nap.
Naps are the best. What have you got?
All aboard our haunted vacay. I'm starting to get nervous. Because
Really?
like I have mentioned many, many times, and will continue to do so throughout the month, I'm about to go on a cruise. And it's going to be haunted.
It's your own fault for booking it when you have. This theme's been here for a while.
I know. It's hilarious. I've read that only psychopaths end their texts with periods. Which may or may not be true because I'm pretty sure I do that.
Say me.
I want to turn his intestines into jump ropes. To play hacky sack with his heart. To press cookie cutters into his brain and make jello jigglers. This is amazing.
Real life a book.
I don't know why I can currently see an army of the undead creeping toward us like they're going to rip our guts out, but I do know that I hate it and want to kill it with fire. Unfortunately, I left my flamethrower at home. So
if you can get your if some old dude can get his gun cane through,
you could have got your flamethrower on
customs. You get your flamethrower on easy, yeah.
Okay. If you like this, try this. What are you going to suggest?
Well, it's this little book called Horror Hotel.
Oh, you don't say.
I don't say. By
Horror
Victoria
Hotel.
Fulton and Faith McClaren.
I'm so shocked that you're talking about Horror Hotel. I'm so shocked.
This is my shocked face. Right, seriously though. We read this last year. It was an absolute barrel of laughs talking about it. It's one of our episodes of the year, as well as one of our books of the year.
Yes.
It was so much fun. And then we found out about Cursed Cruise. We're like, hell's the yes, we're making a theme about it.
Yes.
You're going to need a bigger boat,
Yes.
which is July's theme,
Yes.
which you've said multiple times. And it's just, I swear these books have been written for us.
I know. I
I
agree.
swear it.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, if you haven't listened to the episode or read the books, go back, listen to the episode, read the book. So I'll give you the rundown. You've probably already guessed. But Horror Hotel from the back of the book. When the YouTube famous ghost gang Chrissy, Chase, Emma and Kiki visit a haunted LA hotel notorious for a tragedy to secretly film after dark, they expect it to be just like their previous paranormal hauntings. Spooky enough to attract subscribers and ultimately harmless. But when they stumble upon something unexpected in the former room of a gruesome serial killer, they quickly realise that they're in over their heads. Sometimes it's the dead who need our help, and the living we should fear. Yeah, it's just fun. So, go read. What do you got?
I am going to suggest The Last One by Will Dean. I've been doing a lot of searching for books on ships since that is our theme for this month, and this is one that I found. When Kaz steps on board the exclusive cruise liner RMS Atlantica, it's the start of a vacation of a lifetime with her new love, Pete. On their first night, they explore the ship, eat, dance, make friends, but when Kaz wakes the next morning, Pete is missing. And when she walks out onto the corridor, all the cabin doors are open. To her horror, she soon realizes that the ship is completely empty. No passengers, no crew, nobody but her. The Atlantica is streaming into the mid-Atlantic, and Kaz is the only person on board. But that's just the beginning of the terrifying journey she finds herself trapped on in this white-knuckled mystery.
Nice.
What? It kind of sounds like the book that we discussed creating in the bonus episode.
Exactly.
Whoopsie.
Ooh, whoops. Do we have new indie spotlight?
We do, and I almost mentioned this one last week, but then I decided I was going to save it for this one. It's called Seasick, and you might recognize one of these authors as a guest of the show multiple times. It's by Kristen Cast.
Hey!
And pen tip done, and it just came out in June. Ex-best friends Naya Morgan and Yana Bun-Praseret have always felt like outsiders in their small Oklahoma town. But this year, everything changes when they're inducted into an exclusive society of Yatesville High's top recent graduates. Unimaginable opportunities await them, starting with a celebratory yacht trip to Bermuda. Despite the likely onslaught of microaggressions and backhanded compliments from their peers, in addition to their own rocky past, Yana and Naya are ready for an epic voyage. Then one of their classmates is brutally murdered, leaving them stuck at sea with a killer. Yana and Naya may have avoided each other for years, yet as the body count rises, rekindling their friendship might be the only way they'll both survive.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's Kristen Cast. You know it's going to be fun.
Definitely.
Okay, well, that brings us to the end of this episode of Fictional Hangover. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Claire.
Join us next time as we discuss another ship book.
Ooh.
The Stranded by Sarah Daniels. Look out for our Would You Rather polls and monthly challenges on social media. Don't forget about our book club on Discord. Be sure to visit our shop on Redbubble at fictionalhangover.redbubble.com for all your favorite Fictional Hangover themed merchandise, and become a patron of ours on Patreon at patreon.com/fictionalhangover. Until next time, remember, the only cure for a fictional hangover is another book.
You can find us at fictionalhangover.com. Follow us on Instagram, Threads, TikTok and YouTube at Fictional Hangover. And find us on Facebook at facebook.com/fictionalhangover. If you like this episode, check out our others and be sure to rate, review and subscribe so you don't miss out. And finally, special thanks to Liz Emerson for our music. You can find her on Facebook and Patreon. Thanks for listening.